Earlier this week, an event in Motorsport happened that created news and condolences. And like so many, I too went to the internet to share a thought. I tweeted, "Prayers to Shawn Edwards' family and friends. Nothing else worth saying right now." And for me, there wasn't. For some reason, I was gutted by this one. Yeah, but reading all the other expressions of angst on behalf of Shawn alone, I quickly added, quote, "and prayers for the student who was driving the car as well, no matter what the circumstances." You know, I watched and read the outpouring of all the other comments, many racers with heartfelt respect and pain, and fans expressing their feelings too. And my thoughts struggle through this senseless tragedy, and by no mortal comparison, also the BS I was dealing with that day trying to do business in motorsport, as well as realizing how the politics and fragmentation of racing makes it incredibly tough for fans to just follow the sport they love. It forced me into one more tweet. Just need to say, this sport, motorsport, demands a lot if you want to love it. And I'm not convinced the sport appreciates that, but the racers do, end quote again. Now, I did not know Shawn Edwards. Chris Harris did. JF Musial got to know Shawn doing MOMO videos this year at the American Le Mans Series races. Shawn Johnston, last year's North American Porsche IMSA GT3 Cup champion and a friend of ShakeDown and Drive, went to Europe to race in 2013 and was Shawn's teammate. Porsche Motorsport obviously knew Shawn. Porsche Motorsport North America CEO Jens Walther expressed their feelings. But my detachment from Shawn Edwards matters not. Racing lost another. The last time I did race was on the junior team to Jeff Krosnoff, and it's why I have the Stay Hungry decal on the back of my helmet. And we're shooting this show on the anniversary day of Dan Wheldon's death. This stuff sucks. Now, this is not the Shakedown show I wanted to do. Last week we spoke about danger. The week before was another serious story about things to make the new Tudor United Sports Car Championship a better racing place. Today, I just wanted to do a fun shakedown, get back to the joy of motorsport and cars. Now, I'm headed to the last ALMS race this weekend, Petit Le Mans. They're going to honor Shawn Edwards. This shakedown will try to do the same. For Shawn Edwards, his friends, family, and fans, and for racing. 26-year-old Shawn Edwards came from racing lineage. His dad, Guy Edwards, raced Le Mans and F1. Yes, Guy the father pulled Niki Lauda out of the crashed and burning Nürburgring Ferrari. Shawn played his dad in the film Rush, drove his car. With the Le Mans cars, Guy Edwards, the father, raced for a bit with Emilio Di Vallota, yes, the father of Maria Di Vallota, the racer who also just died. But Shawn Edwards made his name in racing on his own, beyond his dad's storyline. More than enough Shawn talent to always be up front. More than enough racecraft to be leading the 2013 Porsche Mobil 1 Super Cup Championship. But this show isn't about recounting Shawn Edwards' performance history or who he was. And nor am I going to read through a list of racing tragedies from this year alone or that seem to happen over and over. If you need those details, look them up elsewhere. What I am going to do is take a minute for these thoughts that come together when something like Shawn's passing happens, but then just seem to fade into the distraction of the next news bite, or worse, are beaten down by the, quote, "it's just racing" psychobabble. Every racing driver from the front of the grid to the back, every racing moment, every time any car is driven at speed, the only thought should be one of respect for what these guys and girls do, for the seriousness of what they are doing, and for the consequences of getting it wrong. I sincerely fear that too many in the sport and too many fans take the safety of the cars for granted, and by extension, trivialize the whole concept of going fast. I sincerely fear too many in the sport take driver safety as politically correct lip service, not always a belief backed up by the commitment of actions and money, and yes, I'm referring to track safety right here. I fear crashes are seen as entertainment and not danger, and I fear there are too many drivers in too many race cars trying to be racers when they can't or shouldn't, forgetting A, this speed racer thing requires talent, B, this is not a video game with a reset button, and C, this is an athletic endeavor, and you better be in physical condition to do this. I cringe every time I see a fat racing suit and or too much gray hair. Racing is a highly profound skill. It is tough to do, and extra tough as a sport in which to compete. It is dangerous and it has consequences. And And when I say I want the cars to be tougher to drive, and I want them to be awesome to watch, what I'm really saying is I want respect for race car driving. You want to honor a guy like Shawn Edwards? Well, truly embrace in your head and heart how special racers are, and I know many of you do. Now, I'm not going to comment on the circumstances of Shawn's passing, but I will say this. Always know what car you were driving at speed. Do not take anything for granted. And I have no idea how racers and instructors can put themselves in the passenger seat of any fast car. Racers by nature are control freaks. Not controlling the car you are in sears my mind. And it's why I turn down a lot of drive my car offers or pussy around when I must. It's why I opt out of a lot of ride-alongs, and why I'm not offended if someone turns me down for a ride with me. It's also why I don't go back to racing. Yeah, I admit my ego is at play. I don't want to wank around mid-pack or worse, but it really is because I know what it takes to be good at this sport. The time, the commitment, the talent, a team that preps a car you can trust, and the single-minded attack on the risks. Do I want to race again? As stupid as it sounds, sure. But only if I have those things that I just listed in that sentence in place, plus other people's money, but complete respect for the dangers of racing. And it all comes down to that, respect for every time, every moment you experience or watch. Respect for the car, the track, the act of fast driving, and the situations presented by speed and racing. There are only two things, in my opinion, that would honor a guy like Shawn Edwards. One, fans and car enthusiasts that never drop their guard and respect racing and fast driving for the danger it hides, even at an instructor's day on a rented racetrack. And two, a real motorsport industry commitment to safety, with the goal, as idealized as it may be, of no more driver deaths. Unrealistic? Hey, when they were horses, cars were unrealistic. So no more deaths in racing? One can only hope, one can only pray.